My name is Donatilla Kanimba, doctor. I am the executive director and co-founder of the Ronda Union of the Blind, and until 2021, in June, I was the second vice president of the World Blind Union for over 3 years, because I took over from somebody who passed away. I was born in Rwanda when I was about 3 years thereabout. My parents moved to Burundi as refugees. Soon after that, I lost my sight at the age of 5, and for the rest of my growing up life, I was in Kenya because I had to go to a boarding school for the blind for my education, which means that in all my growing up years, I was in an institution, that is a school or in schools. I was in the primary school, then in the secondary school, and after the O-level, I went to a regular boarding secondary school with sighted students, after which I joined the Nairobi University. So we were thinking in terms of having a school for blind children in Burundi. Well, as we grew older, we realized that this was not very feasible. First of all, maybe we were not so very welcome in Burundi. And then it would be a very costly thing to start a school. But we began to wonder, how about having an organization for blind people similar to what we had seen in Kenya, the Kenya Union of the Blind. And we managed to be able to start one because we met with somebody who lost his sight in the army in Rwanda, in the RPF army. And he said he wondered how we could help other blind people in Rwanda this time. So I proposed that idea. I said, what about starting an association for blind people, and we make it a way of negotiating with the government to have a better conditions for blind people, to have education, and to have the recognition of rights of people who are blind. Yeah. So he thought this was a good idea, and with his help, we managed to establish the Rwanda Union of the Blind, even while still outside of Rwanda, because the process to establish the organization started in 1994. We managed to have the organization registered in 1995, and I came to Rwanda now to run the organization in 1996. So yes, we did. We came up with this idea specifically so that the Rwanda Union of the Blind would be the voice of blind people to influence government policies and programs to ensure that blind people also receive all their rights and services the same as other citizens. Yeah. I am very proud of, especially as founder of the Rwanda Union of the Blind, and as the one who has been running this organization for nearly the last 25 years. First of all, now it is the usual thing all learners with visual impairment who have been in school will sit all the national exams. When I started, that was not the case. The belief was that there is no need to give an exam to learners with visual impairment at the end of primary school because they will not manage secondary education. So they were not doing the primary school leaving exam. Therefore, they were not going on into secondary school. Now they sit that exam, they go on into secondary school, they go up to university, and we have many blind people now. If I say many, it is in comparison with, say, 1996. We have many who are employed because they have the required qualifications to be in the employment where they are. We have some even who have obtained the master's degree. Then now we have quite a number of blind people who are in the social stratum 3. That means that they are not at that level where they must be supported by the government. Most of those who are at that level are in our local groups, local associations, in the RUB branches. That is because we have trained them to be independent, to be resilient. They are engaged in economic work at the local level. Most of them engaged in farming, and some of them doing other work outside of farming. We have introduced vocational training, and we have some people who are self-employed and who are also employing other people who have no disabilities. So when we have reached a point where the boss is the blind person, I feel very proud. We have gone beyond the situation of being maskini ya Mungu. Yeah. If I had the resources, I would make sure that all children with visual impairment, all blind children, go to school, and I would make sure that they go to school close to their homes, even if not totally from the start. From primary, maybe the first 4 years or the first 3 years, it would be necessary to get the children in some lessons, especially by themselves, to be able to teach them Braille properly, to be able to teach them orientation and mobility properly, to be able to stimulate them to be active and playful like all other children. And then I would also make sure that local authorities and teachers understand how best to take care of people with disabilities, not just visual impairment, people with disabilities. I would make sure that disabilities are identified early. And if they are identified at infancy, parents should be trained on how to deal with that particular disability. My vision for the future, the only thing I can think of is to be sure that RUB will stay to be a strong, independent, and self-sustaining organization, to continue being the watchdog for people with visual impairment, but also for people with disabilities, because RUB was able to stimulate the disability movement in Rwanda to become a movement, and for people to start thinking about all the other disabilities, for people to stop thinking in terms of having people with disabilities in centers and thinking that they have catered for them. So that would be my first thing. Because I cannot start telling you that my future vision is people being completely included. I would wish for that. But I imagine it goes beyond my lifetime. So I would like to build it into the lifetime of RUB, and I would wish RUB to be strong, resilient, and I could like to say everlasting.